Yo, what it do? It's your boy Joey Sings, and welcome back to my channel for a brand new video. What is good, backup singers? It's your boy Joey Sings, and welcome back to the channel for a brand new video, honey. Yes, shout out to my bestie in the comment that y'all see right here on the screen. We is finna get into Coy Piso. I believe it's how you say his name. If I'm saying it wrong, I apologize, honey. But we is finna get into the two sides of New York. I said, wait a minute, this sounds like something I need to be watching. So I'm ready to get on into it. But if you was not a backup singer, go ahead and become one. Smash that subscribe button as well as hit that bell to get notified when I upload brand new videos like this. Here we go. Alrighty, you guys, I got the video pulled up and I'm pressing play.
I'm in SoHo in New York City, and I'm in Times Square. These places are only 2 miles away from each other, but they couldn't be more different. So today I'm going to be spending some time in each to compare the two side by side to hopefully give you the complete New York experience.
Oh.
When you think of New York City, you probably think of a loud, chaotic city that's drowning in a sea of annoying traffic and insufferable people, which is pretty accurate, to be fair, but it's not all like that. Or at least that's what I was hoping. I realized on my recent trip there that walking through New York City feels like walking through the entire world all at once. Every new block kind of feels like a completely new city. Like, maybe they should call it New York Cities or something. Okay, please don't laugh at that. To show you what I'm talking about, I'm following the same simple bucket list in two completely opposite places that are both in New York City. And because Times Square is actually the busiest, most popular tourist destination in the world, probably, I think, I'll be pitting it against the peaceful neighborhood of SoHo that's just 2 miles away to hopefully find out which side of New York City gives the best experience for a tourist like me. First up on the list, I want to find out which place is better for getting food. We'll be starting off our journey by eating in SoHo, the neighborhood in Lower Manhattan, known for its fancy chain stores, high-end art galleries, and elegant historical architecture. But it wasn't always like this. You see, in the 1950s, this place was an abandoned industrial wasteland that was full of factories, sweatshops, Spider-Man villain headquarters, probably, which gained it the nickname Hell's 100 Acres. But just a decade later, in the 1960s, artists of all incomes and backgrounds moved into these buildings to take advantage of their cheap rent and lax regulation, and even prevented the city from destroying the historic buildings to build a highway. Now, just a few decades and a whole lot of gentrification later, SoHo is one of the most expensive places to live in the entire country. To see how the food here would compare to Times Square, I chose to eat at Dominique and Sell Bakery, home of the Cronut. The Cronut is a croissant donut hybrid that went super viral back in 2013. So viral that people were camping outside the bakery overnight just to get one. Or even buying one from the Cronut black market, where they were being resold for $100 a piece. So I obviously had to get my hands on one and see if this pastry could possibly be worth the hype.
Right. The editing is giving me my life.
Wow. So I got my cronut and I got a matcha. And you know what? For these two things, it was only $16. And look how much matcha's in there.
$16.
Croissant donut, world famous, first ever of its kind. Did it just cronut? Oh my god. What is inside of that? I'm sorry to say it. Little Debbie click away. This is the best pastry I've had in my entire life. Ooh. Not even close. And now I'm gonna try the matcha. The matcha kind of tastes like milk. Oh no, it's dripping. They didn't give me any napkins and I have matcha on my pants. Cronut, I love it, but you're filled with so much goo. No, it's really good. It's like flaky, but like caramely and creamy and donutty and croissanty. Oh! Oh my glop. Oh my gloop and glop. Help me! I've cronut myself. Maybe I shouldn't yell help me. I don't know what I'm gonna do after this. To be quite honest, I don't care. Maybe I see why this wasn't a thing. This is not practical. I can't lie, I'm so ready for this to be over. Do you want some? Do you want any cronut? Fresh that. It's so cold out that this is gonna like freeze over my hands and create like a mold. I need to actually go wash them somewhere. So who's gonna let me? Who's gonna let me in their house? You think CVS has a bathroom? If I'm like, listen, and they're like, the cronut got you, I'm like, you get it. How do I wash my hands?
Oh my goodness.
The cronut was pretty good, okay? Maybe even the best pastry I've had in my entire life, and I would camp out overnight to get another one. But taking into consideration the fact that I cronut all over myself in the freezing cold with nowhere to wash my hands, I'm gonna give my food experience in Soho an 8 out of 10. And now to see if the food just a few blocks away in Times Square can beat Soho's, I found a place that I think represents Times Square perfectly.
Start spreading the news. I'm leaving. I'm leaving, actually. Can we be done? Can we find some food? I don't even know where to start. This is euphoric, pure bliss. I can't feel my hands, and the only restaurant I see is Taco Bell. Wait, what if I just go here? Hi, chicken shish kebab. Yeah, that sounds great.
Ooh.
I'm just gonna eat that. Thank you. You know what? $10 is not bad. Oh, this will be convenient to eat as I walk around.
So good.
Oh, come on, please. That was like all fat. I couldn't even chew it. It was like chewing a slime tutorial.
I was trying to find a place to sit down and eat with caution so that I didn't end up covered in my food in the cold with nowhere to turn like I did in Soho.
This hand actually means, come on. That's what the orange hand means.
But as you could probably guess, it's basically impossible to find a spot to sit in peace in Times Square.
So which the police just told them to move. Oh, what? So we can't wear giant gorilla costumes anymore? Biden's America. Is this guy doing magic? I think he's doing magic.
I saw this guy who I thought was a magician, maybe? He had chairs set up for an audience, but not a single person watching him.
This whole existence sucks! Ow! Ow! I'm angry! Oh my gosh! What's with the world? Everyone's so angry. What about you, my good sir?
I mean, I needed a place to sit down and eat, and he had plenty of empty chairs, so...
I think me and this guy would get along. We have very similar jobs.
I love the show! Oh, who's this guy? Oh,
Is someone sitting here?
Yes! The fool! There's nobody there.
There's nobody in this one? Okay, thank you.
We're waiting for that person. Whoa, look at that. Who are you?
My name is Coy.
Coy?
Yes.
Talking to a New Yorker was actually the next thing on my bucket list, so I was kind of killing two birds with one stone here. Unlike the birds, I'm flying through the bucket list. Okay, no, it was stupid. Stop, it wasn't even funny. For the record, the few bites of the kebab that weren't fat were pretty good, but not worth $10. So now that I found someone to talk to in Times Square, I just need to find someone in Soho so that I can hopefully find out how talking to strangers in each place might be different.
I've washed myself clean of the cronut. When I was in there, I saw a lady cutting her cronut with a fork and knife, and I felt really embarrassed. Honestly humiliated. Come on, there's so much to explore. Can you get kicked out of this place? The way to find a Soho local, or as I like to call them,
get kicked out of this place?
Soho local? We're still working on it. The way to find a Soho local, find someone where every single item of clothing that they have looks more expensive than anything that you could ever dream of buying. Oh, she looks...
That's one way.
Posh. She looks posh. She looks posh. Posh alert, posh alert. I just feel like rich people want nothing to do with me. Oh, she looked really nice. I'm really scared.
Not under the camera, so I want to be in it.
But that's because she didn't know if I wanted her in it. I do. It smells really bad right here.
Really bad.
Really bad. I've set up a trap for rich people. I've made a decoy store right here. Quiet Luxury, a store-wide event, sale. It's all fake. We have a big budget for this video. So rich people will see the word luxury and they'll come up and they'll be like, oh, new store in my Soho local area. And I'll be like, hey.
Who are you?
My name is Coy.
Coy?
Yes.
I've heard coy like, oh, someone who's mysterious and not direct. Are you?
No.
Really? You're sitting here having a conversation.
Could a shy person do that?
No, they don't.
I'm shy. Soho, I'm shy. Could I ask you a question real quick for the camera? Are you from Soho? Oh, okay. That's all right. That's okay. Wait, what about her? Excuse me. What's your name?
Oh,
Oh my gosh, that's my dad's name.
Really? I don't believe it. That means he's like an old-fashioned car that drove off the cliff into a pond of water and it's drowning.
Yeah.
Is he drowning?
Yeah.
Why aren't
yeah.
you saving him, Coy?
My mom's a mermaid, so she's got it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but my dad likes to call her a mermaid, like that. Hi, excuse me, do you have a second for me to ask you a question?
Ooh, they said not
I guess
today.
that was a question, wasn't it? I broke her rules.
So is this for your family history tree?
Yes, this is to show my grandkids.
Oh, no. What?
I actually hate this so much. I'm so scared. I'm so scared. Oh, shucks.
Well, that's what I realized when I went to a friend's performance, that the kids are serious. But they have to be, because the adults are too crazy now. If they're not thinking about the children's future, who is? This is why kids have to be serious!
It's okay. That's totally fine. She said absolutely not. That one didn't hurt.
The world is going to shambles! Your grandfather doesn't care about you! That's why piss on his grave! That's terrible.
What if we went to the park? All right, well, lovely talking to you and meeting you.
Hi, Coy, and behind the scenes man.
Okay. Oh, and the grill is here now, too.
So I ended up not getting a single person to talk to me in SoHo, even when I put my camera away. But luckily, this is the only tour in America that's happening in 2 places at once, and the magician, maybe, I still don't know, he really made up for it. Obviously, Times Square is getting a 10, and SoHo is getting a 0. And with the next item on the bucket list being shopping, it's really anyone's game at this point. With SoHo being luxurious and high-end, and Times Square basically being a consumerism theme park, I really had no idea which would end up being better for shopping.
The best thing about SoHo is it's like designer kind of brands. Here we have Preppy Christmas. I think I've seen most of these things on like Instagram ads. Minus a few points for you. That brings you down to a score that's so low, SoHo. So let's go to the store where we're going to buy more things. Oh, sorry, just checking my bank account. It's full. We're gonna go to this market that sells, I actually don't remember.
I chose to go to the Pearl River Mart, not just because it's one of the only stores in SoHo that sells anything cheaper than a black market cronut, but also because it has huge historical significance.
Ooh.
Oh, hey, you made it here too. Good. We're about to head inside. Let's go check out what they have. Is that good? Are you still watching? Are you still? Hey.
The Pearl River Mart opened in 1971 as the first ever Chinese-American department store, which was considered a radical and even controversial idea at the time.
What if you're like, oh, your bag's so cute, and then they like open it up and it had milk inside?
Now, 50 years later, it serves as a symbol of multiculturalism that showcases the creativity of Asian Americans.
That is so awesome. Look at those lanterns.
And to try to compete with that, we have Times Square's famous Hershey's Chocolate World. I wanted to know, could one of the world's most famous brands and one of the world's most famous areas beat the little market that's just down the road? I want out. No. The answer is no. This store is crowded and overpriced and sticky, but so is most of Times Square, so I figured it'd be a bit unfair to just judge it off of this one store. And being in the capital of tourism, I knew exactly where I needed to go next.
Oh, I've always wanted a mini chalice. This is funny. Now this is... I heard there was comedy in New York, but I didn't know it was this good.
I was hoping to find a cheap little souvenir or trinket in here, but all they had was cheap little souvenirs and trinkets, and now it's not so clear what I want.
Wait. Hey, this is actually kind of awesome. Oh, wow.
SoHo had the Museum of Modern Art Design store, which is full of all sorts of really cool stuff designed by really talented artists, which of course meant I couldn't afford anything. Shopping isn't always about buying, okay? It's about having fun and playing with everything in the store and talking about how badly you need everything in the store and how badly you want it and how badly you want someone to buy it for you and how good it would look in your room before you look at the price tag and set it back down.
See, if I got a book like this, I just want to cut it up and put it everywhere. Giant fidget. How many simple dimples could I get for this?
Aww.
That's pretty good. Look what I did. I'm kind of carrying this art store with my art.
So even though Soho is full of all of these high-end stores
this
and luxury
editing
brands,
is everything.
it actually has some really unique shops that you can't find anywhere else. And I'm not sure I can say the same about Times Square. So for going shopping, it's going to be a 7 for Soho and a 3 for Times Square. Now this brings us to our last big item on the New York City bucket list, which is to do something fun. Or to have, I guess that says have fun. I wanted to find some sort of activity or experience that each place has to offer that isn't a store or a restaurant. Of course, in Times Square, there's the view from the top of the Empire State Building.
It's too high.
It was $80 a person to ride the elevator to the top, so this is just a picture that I printed on Google. Okay, when you see how much I had to spend for the fun thing that I did in Soho, you'll hopefully understand why I was trying to find something in Times Square that wasn't insanely overpriced. In Soho, the only thing left to do other than shopping and eating was go to a museum, and Soho has so many museums. I didn't want to be the annoying YouTuber with the camera vlogging my way through high-end art galleries, but lucky for me, there was one museum in Soho that stood out like a gorilla in Times Square, the Museum of Ice Cream. Do you remember that era on Instagram where you'd sometimes see an influencer randomly post a picture of them in a giant pool of sprinkles? Hopefully not, but if you do, that's the Museum of Ice Cream. Now, because it's in Soho, among some of the nicest and most prestigious art museums in the world, I figured it'd be some sort of immersive walk-through art experience that like blows your mind or something. You know, maybe themed around ice cream with some kind of deeper meaning or overall purpose, but instead it was...
What's going on?
Actually, I still don't know what it was.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, I do. Awesome. So I walked into this room and I didn't know what was going on, and I asked someone what's going on, and I don't think anyone knows what's going on in this room. This is apparently the celebration room. Also, we just got here from the other room and we walked in here and they were like, do you want ice cream? We were like, chill. Also, if you look confused of what's going on, a worker will just come up to you and like explain to you what's going on, but it just does not give any clarity. He was like, so this is the celebration room. He said, so you can take pictures, you can eat ice cream, or you can spin the wheel and play a game. So we're about to spin this wheel and play the game. That's what the celebration room is all about. Ice cream can't move. Throw in a scoop, a slide, a whip, just don't trip. I'll give you a scoop.
Is that your dance move?
Yeah, what's it called?
What's it called?
Scoop. Yeah, like ice cream. What? Knock knock. Who's there? Icy. Icy who? Are they gonna say I see you? I see you looking at me. Who the f? In fact, the figure on the screen, on the swing, is Mariella's bun. E.O. Ender of Moe. Oh, that's O.E. Ender of Moe. I wondered if that's who that was. What's going on? Wait, the subway has magical powers. It can take you anywhere.
Thank you for riding Museum of Ice Cream train service.
What if my dream destination was home? What if my dream destination was anywhere but the ice cream museum?
Give the person next to you a big smile. Come on, you can do it.
Whoa! Guys, come to the Museum of Ice Cream. I was trying to think of a reason why, but I'm still looking for one.
Now, as much as you're probably enjoying the overstimulating fever dream that Soho calls the Museum of Ice Cream, I wanted to give you a quick break because it only gets more disorienting from here. Even though I couldn't really find anything to do in Times Square that was within my budget, I found that I had the most fun just by walking around and observing and interacting with people in the city. It might not exactly be the safest option, but it's free.
Oh, well, I have to get on one of those, right?
Hey!
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Hey! Sit down! Sit down now! Sit! 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 Sit down now! Sit!
Hey, sit down. Sit down now. Stand up. Stand up. I don't know why this is like the it spot of New York City. It's a terrible representation of it. We don't dial 911. We just shoot them. Oh, warning. Fart zone. So, wow. Some like in any other scenario, I can't even think of a gay joke right now. Like that's how overstimulated I am. I have so many in my, but everything. Okay, let me try to clear up my brain. Gay Street, more like, see, they already made the joke. It says Gay Street. I'm looking down at the camera and nothing around me exists. I'm so angry, I'm about to go tell some kids on a bus to sit down. Sit down. Like, what if you're from another country, right? And then your like big dream is to go to New York City, and like what you've seen in the pictures and stuff, people are like Times Square, Times Square, Times Square, that's the place to be. And then you get here. Enough said, then you get here. I don't know if I'll ever be the same. Thank you. Fun fact, Times Square is actually New York City's biggest escape room. Hi, Elmo. Do you think he'd tickle me? Tickle me, Elmo.
It's just, it looks very crowded.
I don't know what he just said to me, but I loved it.
Did you have fun in there? Yeah, I'm sure you did. Oh, but not as much fun as you're about to have in the sprinkle pool.
Not the sprinkle pool.
Did they run out of ideas after room 1? I think this is where they put you when the ice cream museum makes you crazy. It's like word room tour. This one's gonna be cooler. I love this place. Who wants to hang out and dissociate in the ice cream museum?
Refund.
Bye-bye. Oh, wow, okay, I love ice cream! I just like ended up in the ice cream back rooms. What's going on?
Not the back.
Can you tell me where we are? We're gonna get it all the way back here and it's just gonna be ice cream.
So we have some flated vanilla here and some chocolate syrup.
I think I'm okay on ice cream right now. Yeah. I think a better name for this should be the Sensory Overload Museum. Ice cream, ice cream, ice cream. Oh great, the music has never been louder.
It's just a lot going on.
I'm gonna run into this. It's so hot in here. I wish I had some ice cream. How sticky do you think it is in there? Hey, you come to the sprinkle pool often? Girl, are you the sprinkle pool? Because, how many diseases do you have? So I'm
sure there's so many better fun things to do in Soho, but I'm gonna have to give them a 0, just so maybe it'll put some pressure on the city to get that waste of precious Soho space out of there. Walking around Times Square, on the other hand, felt like being trapped in a giant human zoo enclosure, which has always been a big dream of mine. So finally, it's time for the last and most important item on the bucket list: relax after a long day.
That is so cool.
I'm gonna get a little bite and a little drink. I found a nice little cafe in Soho to relax at, and by relax I mean look as candid as possible as my cameraman gets shots of me eating a croissant.
You can tell how good a croissant is gonna be by how it tears. And the rip here is as good.
For Times Square, I'd finally learned at the end of maybe the longest day of my entire life that finding peace in Times Square isn't possible. So I was just trying to figure out how I could get out of there immediately.
Well, there's only one way out. Oh, it's only $9 a minute. Okay.
So after a long day in the busiest place in the world, it was finally time to sit back, relax, and...
Oh, I love this. This was cute. This was fun. Oh, I love that. Okay, see here, now I'm gonna have to get into Coy videos because this was everything. The editing, everything about this, I loved it, period.